Hi, I'm Pastor Bill. I oversee the missions ministry here at Cornerstone. Wanted to kind of talk about my own personal history with missions so as to hopefully encourage some people. I was singing in a band in 1988, and we got invited to go to England for 21 days and do music in schools and in clubs and in prisons. And I had never been on a missions trip, and my first reaction was, what could possibly happen in 21 days? It's not enough time to accomplish anything. I had a lot of hesitation and reservation about going, but I prayed a lot and was persuaded to go. Our first concert was in a classroom where just an acoustic guitar player and myself went in, and we got to sing to the kids. And in England they have Christian education classes, and so we went in under that banner. And it was amazing, and I realized how much can be done in a short-term missions trip. Since then, I've been to England, Hawaii, Serbia, Austria, Hungary, Germany, and Mexico. And my life was really revolutionized. My outlook was revolutionized on that short-term missions trip. And so, anyway, I just wanted to give a little background there. I had my doubts, about the validity of going on a short trip like that, but it really can make a difference. When communism fell in the late 80s, we got invited to go into Hungary and Yugoslavia. It was called Yugoslavia at the time. I did some concerts there, and some churches were planted. I continued to go to Eastern Europe for 4 or 5 years until I really felt God directed me to go down into Mexico. Cornerstone's been working in Mexico probably since about the year 2000 or 2001. We started in Rosarito and used to go 3 times a year, and ventured down now into Vizcaíno. We've purchased land, built a facility, have a missions base / church. I have a national pastor pastoring. I go down frequently. 15 years ago we started doing pastors conferences for the locals down there. 3 years ago it expanded to the La Paz area, so now we teach conferences for pastors and leaders in 2 different cities, all free of charge, churches from the United States underwriting those conferences. And so kind of a background of what we've been doing. There's a lot of folks from Cornerstone that have been on these trips and have really loved them, and have, they've been really life-changing to visit another part of the world, see the church, Universal, see how they're serving their local community. So that's kind of an overview. The goals of the ministry, well, we always want to be a blessing, and blessings come in lots of ways. Sometimes we bring presents for children. Sometimes we help with construction. Sometimes we have outreach evangelism with music and drama. We have food distribution. We like to work with the local church. And one of the things that God has directed my heart and our heart collectively is to keep going back to the same place. I'm not saying that's right for everybody, but I think it's right for us. Some churches, choose to visit a lot of different areas. But our target area is Baja, especially South Baja. And we've been able to develop relationships and friendships with pastors there. So we know their needs, we know their personalities. Some pastors we realized wanted to take advantage and really didn't have the kingdom of God in mind. And so we focus on a certain area. And like I said, blessings come in many ways. Pastoral conferences. Once again, assisting a local church with outreach and evangelism, bringing money to buy rice and beans so they can feed their neighbors, construction, any number of things, marriage conferences, sometimes personal counseling with those in leadership of the churches. So if you decide to join us on a missions trip, there'll be something to do, even if it's just grabbing a soccer ball and playing with kids. We visit a lot of orphanages in North Baja. And also the migrant worker camps in South Baja. Just being there, loving people. The language is not a problem. I mean, it helps if you can speak Spanish, but it's not a barrier. Loving people is a kind of an international language. And so everybody, if you're ready to go sometimes and kind of endure some discomfort, that happens. But if you have a heart to go, God will use you. I'd like to see people involved just by going. There are those who go, and also there are those who send. And so, there might be health reasons why somebody can't go. There might be any number of really legitimate reasons why somebody doesn't go on a missions trip. But we take sometimes people that might not have all the funds to go, so you can sponsor somebody. If it's a high school or a college age person, maybe you can give them some work to do, something like that, or chores around the house where they can earn their way. So there are goers and there are senders. And of course, everybody can be praying. So, it's really become a real vital part of the ministry of our church.